Our typical daily life becomes a luxury when compared with the way of life here. Once separated by a cliff standing 1,000 meters high, the cliff village of Sichuan's Liangshan Prefecture has been sealed off from the world for over a century. The only thing they had on the mountain was absolute poverty. Yet since the government installed steel ladders and an optical fiber network, everything changed.
The rattan ladders became steel ladders. We've never imagined it could happen. And when the steel ladders were up, we thought, wow, it's like a highway.
After the steel ladders were built and 4G came, this secluded village got connected with the world.
You became connected.
Yes, linked together. Many people in the village are using smartphones. Young people are making short videos and doing live streaming. They're not good with Putonghua. They didn't read. They didn't know how to respond. Gradually, after live streaming, they started to pick up words.
Cities have made huge progress, but as long as the villagers stayed on the mountain, not only will the cost for poverty alleviation remain high, but the disparity between the urban rich and the rural poor would also get more serious. To solve the problem of generational poverty once and for all, the government decided to embark on a massive project. In May 2020 came the big day of relocation for the whole cliff village. It was the great move off of the cliff day. The cliff flying man Musa Labo is taking his family down the steel ladders for their new life ahead. His mum and dad haven't been down the mountain for 5 years.
My father was especially happy. I was happy too, because we got to move to town. We didn't know what the new place was going to be like. When we arrived at the estate, wow, we were stunned. This beautiful place, is it really ours?
It's like a dream.
We've never even dreamt of that, because we'd never seen anything like that before.
After 3 to 4 years' work, the government completed construction of 1,400 resettlement estates across Liangshan, at places close to town or where transportation is convenient. Helping over 2,000 impoverished villages, a total of 350,000 villages relocate. Blocks of modern apartment complexes, complete with community, medical and cultural facilities, schools and transportation networks. Everything was newly constructed for the villages. The government allocated the flats according to family size. It's at least over 100 square feet per person. A family of 4 would get a unit of over 500 square feet. We've been to the cliff village and we've seen how they used to live. Now let's visit Labo in his new home. Labo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my new house. My place is up ahead.
It's right there.
Here we are. My place is on the 4th floor.
The 4th? No need to climb the ladders of heaven anymore.
Right, just these stairs now.
The staircase instead of ladders of heaven, just 4 flights of stairs. Oh dear, this is your son.
Yes, and my second one.
Second one, another one.
My youngest child. This is my wife, my mom and pop.
Hello, so you're a family of 7.
Yes, 7. My eldest daughter is at nursery school.
Labo was born and bred in a cliff village. All his brothers and sisters are working in the city. He's the youngest, so it's his duty to take care of their parents. Before, the family lived on the farm on the mountain. They'd grow their own food, and basically they had no income. and they lived in a worn-out clay house. This home is totally different now.
That's right. Up in the mountains, the bedroom and the living room were one room.
This is the living room as well as where you sleep.
Now you see, this is the living room.
Here's a living room and there's a bedroom. Is this your room? The master bedroom.
Yes,
And another room is for whom?
my mum and pop.
For Mom and Papa. It's so neat and tidy. The bathroom.
Now we have this toilet where we can take a shower. There were no bathrooms up in the mountain. And here's a guest room
For whom?
for guests.
Guests. Even a room for guests too.
See how nice the kitchen is.
That's right. I remember your kitchen up the mountain. It's totally different. It was so primitive back then. Now you have these appliances.
Yes, all modernized. A flat in Jiaojie County can cost you around 400,000 to 600,000 yuan, but we paid just 10,000 yuan and got it from the government. And not only that, there's furniture, the table, the sofa, television set, and beds. A set of 5 pieces, all given by the government.
How much space?
100 square meters.
100 square meters is about 1,000 square feet.
We've lived here for a while and still, I can't believe this is ours.
It's unbelievable indeed. Yes, what a huge contrast with that place on the mountain. Where were these babies born?
On the mountain, she was born here.
How did you do it? You carried him when you moved?
He didn't want to be carried. He wanted to climb by himself.
Wow, it's true. Look, this is you. He was just over 1 year old.
Yes. The second child was born the day we climbed down. It's really hard to climb when you're pregnant. And this youngest child, we're sitting right here. The hospital was nearby when it was time, just next door. It's so convenient.
So Mom and Pop, do you like it here?
How can we not like it? I was worried before. Some old people didn't want to move. They're used to life in the village. Many of the seniors had never been to town.
Right.
They didn't know what it's like here. Then when you actually came, you knew this is how our seniors should live. Mom and Pop are so old now. They'd never even had a body check before. Even when they were ill, if it's not too serious, they wouldn't come down from the mountain. Only when they were really sick or when they were dying would they be carried down. Back then, it was dangerous enough for you to climb those rattan ladders on your own, not to mention carrying someone on your back too. But here, the hospital is just a short walk away. They could easily have their bodies checked.
Moving down the mountain, besides better living for the family, the most important thing for Labo is his children won't have to risk their lives climbing the cliff to go to school like he did as a child. I can see she's very happy, and you too. The kids can go to school when they're so small.
Yes, back then we had to climb the cliff and walk a whole day to get to school. Now it takes less than 2 minutes to get to school.
This nursery school, I've been to many places. This one is the biggest I've seen. Under the new measures, at every resettlement point, they have facilities like kindergartens, primary and secondary schools. As stipulated by law, all children aged between 6 and 15 are to receive free compulsory education. And for the poor, kindergarten is free too. Back then, young villagers like Labo would only get to go to school for the first time in their teens. And very soon, they'd have to quit school to work for a living.
If the living environment was so nice when we were small, life should have been so much better.
You would have been even smarter today with even better development, right?
早上好，你们吃早餐了吗？一起来，一、二、三、四，哇，好棒哦！
Back then, we graduated from primary school. We could only write our own names.
You could only write your name when you graduated from primary school?
We didn't know anything about Mandarin. Now she speaks Mandarin as well as the Yi language. She speaks more Mandarin than the Yi language.
A huge difference.
Now our children can go to kindergarten. Back then, we'd never even heard of kindergarten. We only had primary school. When they grow up, they'll be our hope. They're going to live better than we did.
The Poverty Alleviation Relocation Project is one of the few large-scale relocation projects in human history. The government plans to relocate all of the people from extremely remote areas of the country in 5 years, a total of 10 million people. But to do it in such a short time, like relocating the whole population of a small country, who pays for it and where to move them? What about their livelihood afterwards?
After 8 years of hard work, more than 1 million residents of the Liangshan Prefecture got out of poverty. 1,468 relocation settlement posts like this are built, moving 350,000 people out from the remote areas.
Brother Yoga!
Hello, Pui, welcome.
Thank you. So this is the resettlement estate for the villagers.
Yes, this is one of the resettlement communities we have in Zhouju County.
Pacha Yoga is the Secretary for Poverty Alleviation sent from the Liangshan Prefecture government to the Cliff Village. Since 2012, the government has sent 3 million elite members of the civil service and young people with high education to be stationed in villages for poverty relief work. They are here to help the villagers rewrite their destiny.
Hello!
What is this?
Spinning wool.
So they make the clothes this way.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome! When the government first decided to relocate the villages, some seniors resisted the idea. So officials like Yoga went from door to door to explain to them that there were other ways to lead a happy life. How are you adapting to this life?
She said very well, very well.
How long have you been here?
Almost 8 months. She said the old villagers needed not stay there to work on the farm. The young ones can go out for work and come home to take care of them.
Is it back when they were up the mountain, the sons, the young ones, had to go to work in the city and they were left on their own with no one to take care of them? But it's different now, they can live together.
First, it's easier to go out to work, and then she doesn't need to keep going up and down. Life is much more peaceful and easy.
It's wonderful the family can live together. She can sew clothes at her leisure. Now you're happy, right? Since 2016, the government and various sources of funding have together invested over 600 billion yuan, building 2.66 million resettlement homes countrywide, and helped relocate 10 million poverty-stricken people. All these resettlement areas are well served with fresh water supply, electricity, gas, and other facilities. The relocation of these 10 million people meant the problem of poverty in China, where the local environment isn't able to support its inhabitants. This core problem has been solved. These villagers would do some farming on the mountain. Now that they've moved here, how do they make a living?
They have to be relocated and given security. Around the 5 local communities, there are agricultural parks targeting farmers in the county, where the locals can be grouped together for work. Their income is very stable too, given the government's policy of guarantee support, such as minimum living security, senior health and life insurance.
Yoga told me after the relocation, the villagers must be given security. So how do they make money when they have no farm works? This modern agricultural park in Jiaozhe County occupies an area of 5,000 mu. That's equivalent to the size of over 400 football fields. It was built by a mainland enterprise with the aim of helping the relocated farmers. Mr. Zhao, I understand that this modern agricultural park is a project for poverty alleviation.
This project was spearheaded by the government in 2018. Investments were made by enterprises so that residents could take part in it.
The farmers can choose to work here for a salary or take part in the cultivation work. The company provides them with training on technical skills. Once the produce reaches the company's standard for export, it will be contracted for sales. Over the past 3 years, since the park was set up, they have created job opportunities for almost 1,000 relocated families.
从山上搬迁下来，在这里务工的2个工人。
Hello， 阿姨，你们好，姑娘，你们好。
他叫这个齐乐阿嘎。
齐乐阿嘎。
这个叫阿洛。
阿洛，你们都是山上面搬下来的吗？
哦，对。
那现在在这里耕种，跟以前在山上做肯定很大分别了吧？
山上以前很苦，起码太小了，
太少了
，1个月几百块，
几百块。
现在1个月差不多2000块钱。比如说住些土豆还有玉米的话，还要飞几个小时，而且你要飞到山上来卖的话，价钱又少。
为什么呢？
因为人家知道你背上来肯定背不上去了，所以价钱给你压到最低。
哇，这样很惨哎。
对。
This vegetable field is huge. Where do you sell these vegetables?
Mainly to Shenzhen and to Hong Kong as well.
Hong Kong too?
Yes.
So the choy sum we eat could have been picked by these aunties relocated from the mountain.
Before this base was set up, the older farmers only knew about growing potatoes and corn, produce that couldn't sell for much. Their ways of cultivation were rather primitive too, not so scientific, like with ridging and fertilizing. After planting, they'd leave it up to nature. The rate of marketable farm produce was low. For 1 mu, they might get just a few hundred or 1,000 yuan. Now, with planting choy sum, for 1 mu of land, they can make tens of thousands a year.
That's a huge difference.
Yes, compared to traditional farming, that's dozens of times more.
In recent years, the government and the enterprises are systematically helping the farmers develop their industries with local characteristics. Now, for the 832 impoverished counties, poverty alleviation program with local characteristics have been launched. With over 300,000 modern agricultural parks established, these industrial bases are untying the knots of poverty in China. As Labo often live streams about the Cliff Village, he has accumulated over 100,000 followers. And he has been picked by a tourism company to be a professional tour guide for the mountain area. So you're some kind of a tour guide?
An outdoor tour guide for the Cliff Village. I grew up in the Cliff Village, so for this job...
You have this special passion.
I'm very happy with it.
How much do you get paid?
Close to 4,000 yuan.
Is that good enough for a family of 7?
It's okay. I will keep working hard.
I have confidence in you. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you, big sis.
It's such a big difference from before.
That
day when we climbed up to the mountain, I saw how you used to lead your life. I felt so touched, you know? I grew up in the city. Many things that I thought were basic in life, to you, were so hard to get. Such a luxury.
That's true, so true. But now we really feel we are in touch with the outside world. The rattan ladders became steel ladders. Before that happened, we couldn't even imagine it. When we moved to town, the steel ladders became flights of stairs.
Yes, that change is so big.
Indeed.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, my sister.
8 years since the targeted poverty alleviation program began, China is lifting 10 million people a year out of poverty. According to the World Bank, in recent years, of every 100 people lifted out of poverty, 70 were from China. Besides relocating the villages and upgrading the agricultural industry, the biggest expenses of poverty alleviation work have been for transport infrastructure and education. Next week, we're visiting Lujiang in Yunnan to see how the indigenous inhabitants have broken through barriers and have connected with the world.
呢個係佢哋保留翻咧，係真係傳統80年代用到而家嘅一個流索嚟嘅，你可以見到下，都幾高喎，我覺得。即係哦，即係呢個以前其實都係用木做喎，咁所以你可想而知，而家你話鋼咧，咁就梗係會安全啲啦。用木嘅再加上麻繩咧，其實就真係好危險㗎嚇。我有啲驚驚地。